Namaste everyone, and welcome to the World Yoga Conference, coming to you live from all over the world. Uh, Thank you all the panelists and all the participants for joining in this beautiful event that we are doing to commemorate 150 years of Sri Aurobindo, who is the inspiration behind this whole endeavor of World Yoga Federation and uniting the whole world of yoga together. That Swami Vidyanand ji has started. Um, without any more delay, I'd like to start. We have a very small clipping of Sri Aurobindo's dream. So Sri Aurobindo's dream was to unite. He wrote 5 dreams of his, and one of them was to unite the world together under one banner with many forms, and with India and Asia at the head as the custodian, and India as the Jagat Guru, which is the guru or the teacher of the world. And so I think I will just let Sri Aurobindo's words speak for himself. So thank you and welcome.
So, Utkarsh, next. You prayer? Yes.
Chaitanyamai Satyamai
Another dream was for the resurgence and liberation of the peoples of Asia, and her return to her great role in the progress of human civilization.
The peoples of Europe have carried material life to its farthest expression. The science of bodily existence has been perfected, but they are suffering from diseases which their science is powerless to cure. England, with her practical intelligence. France, with her clear, logical brain. Germany, with her speculative genius. Russia, with her emotional force. America, with her commercial energy, have done what they could for human development, but each has reached the limit of her peculiar capacity. Something is wanting which Europe cannot supply. It is at this juncture that Asia has awakened, because the world needed her. Asia is the custodian of the world's peace of mind, the physician of the maladies which Europe generates. She is commissioned to rise from time to time from her ages of self-communion, self-sufficiency, self-absorption, and rule the world for a season, so that the world may come and sit at her feet to learn the secrets she alone has to give. When the restless spirit of Europe has added a new phase of discovery to the evolution of the science of material life, has regulated politics, rebased society, remodeled law, rediscovered science, the spirit of Asia, calm, contemplative, self-possessed, takes possession of Europe's discovery and corrects its exaggerations, its aberrations, by the intuition, the spiritual light she alone can turn upon the world.
So in this spirit, we would like to begin this conference with an invocation, a prayer given by Sri Aurobindo to the Divine Mother. Um, I'd like to welcome Disha as well. I'd just like to request all hosts and panelists to keep their mics on mute, please, while they're in here. Thank you. I would now like to request Swami Vidyanand ji to start his opening address. Swamiji, we can't hear you, Swamiji.
Yeah. Okay.
स्वामी जी वो दूसरा वाला ऑफ होना होगा.
Okay.
ये वाला ऑन होने दीजिए जी. Sorry, one moment. I think we've lost Swamiji. I will just try to get him back on. One moment, please.
Clear? अभी ठीक है उत्कर्ष?
जी स्वामी जी, आपका वीडियो आने आ रहा, वॉइस एकदम क्लियर है स्वामी जी.
अभी आया?
हाँ जी, बढ़िया.
Okay, perfect. So, welcome to Namaste. I am very happy to, this is a World Yoga Federation is presenting this time all great masters is available. This is conference is a small form, seat form, not big form. So I just invited the selected masters for this conference. This is the purpose is Sri Aurobindo dream of Sri Aurobindo. How to unite it, the all countries, how to yoga. So yoga is the way. Yoga is the spirituality, is the real Indian knowledge through can united the all countries at a one home, oneness is coming. Politics definitely divided. Everyone is divided. This is me. This is identity. So through politics can't possible. Sri Aurobindo's have a vision, third dream, very important. Only spirituality, Indian system of yoga can possible united the two countries between have a relations, making the beautiful. Whole world also can at a one platform. And this is the reason I created this Shivendo's vision, this conference world, and especially organization. Before have a small organizations, small countries is working. But my feeling is how to yoga in India, yoga coming from the India, not to America, not to anywhere in the world. Source, land, India is the land of the yoga. So this is the reason, this World Yoga Federation have a right system for documents, for certification also. And United States of America also have recognized World Yoga Federation. This very important to understand. All European Union also recognized World Yoga Federation. Australian government, New Zealand government, everyone is very easily accepted this organization. When I have start World Yoga Federation, before I have a Yoga Alliance International, very largest, I'm starting before Yoga Alliance International. He's very successful. But I want to, how to can make the discipline, how to can make the international certification. He's working in USA, working in Europe, working in everywhere in the world. And school, new masters, how to can make the new studios and different style of yoga. Everyone have their own style. Many rishis, many kind of rishis. So first this is the reason I invited India government, Dr. Ishwar Reddy. He's the responsible person of the India, government of India, and has a chief guest today. I have a relations last more than 25, 30 years. I have communication, very nice with the heart. I see that Dr. Ishwar is the really great knowledge of Veda, great knowledge of yoga, and have a present this time giving the something, present the right knowledge to us. I starting these organizations, I am not giving longer time, but I want to several great master in the world. This is the starting, this is a small starting, but in future, I have a region, America region, different conference, Europe region, different conference, Africa region, different. I have a 5 continents. I have planning to 5 continents, World Yoga Federation in the 5 continents, and have a different kind of masters I invited. And representing to India is a leader. India is a leader of the yoga. This is my way, my feeling. So I inviting to Dr. I think Ishwar have giving some kind of word. And after I start this, he's the chief guest today. I respected Dr. Ishwar, have a Basavaraddi. So he's coming to, please giving some word, giving two blessings to everyone.
Shall I start now?
Please, yes.
Before I start, how many minutes I have to speak?
You can, in your hand, 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yes, please, 10 minutes or 15. What is you feel? What is you?
I'll be some 15 minutes.
Yes, please, please.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Respected yoga master, Swami Vidyanand ji, my esteemed yoga family member, and all the yoga professionals, experts, gurus, yoga enthusiasts, we call them as sadhaks, who are present here through various social media platforms, and my pranams to you all. It's a very auspicious occasion today. I am at my village, but I promised to join. That's why I'm joining through some my mobile not from the institutional platform. Tomorrow evening, maybe some time I will get an address from the institute platform. First of all, World Yoga Federation, the founder Swami Vidyanand ji. So we know each other for more than 2 decades, and various aspects of yoga for promotion and development. We met in the past and discussed recently last year during Corona, and we again discussed various dimensions to promote yoga, and particularly how to improve the quality of teaching and teachers and their certification, and also providing them the bigger platform so that it should become a professional way to handle the various aspects and dimensions of yoga. So today, in a brief, you all started with Aurobindo. I will touch some of the aspects of Aurobindo teaching, particularly the integral yoga. I will try to put my entire thought process as it comes in 5 various dimensions. First of all, many people today practice yoga. So many of us don't know why we practice yoga. This is the first thing I have to ask always. So because yoga has several dimensions, I don't want to name them, it's innumerable. You can list only few, but there are many dimensions of yoga. So always I said the journey of yoga is from finite to infinite, or it is sometime the micro to the macro level. So when it comes to the micro, it goes to the smallest living organism, the cell. Within the cell, the life itself. So then it goes to the macro, the infinity. So that is the entire the universe, the Brahmanda, what we call. So kindly remember, this is if you are the student of mathematics, always we say, 0 at the center, it goes both way, minus infinity to plus infinity. Sorry. So this is the range. I'll prove it being a scientist. So it has the micro management and macro management. So therefore it has various dimensions. It is an education, therapy, management, and personality development, spiritual dimensions of yoga, of individuals. So therefore, whenever an individual comes to you to learn yoga, you have to understand what are or what is his objective of coming to yoga practice. He might have come for fitness. Most of the people come for fitness. It's one of the fitness program. Then he may come for wellness. Somebody come for only for weight reduction. Somebody come for the other aspects, or some very few people come for to know what I am, the spiritual dimension of an individual. So therefore, so these are the various dimensions. The first and foremost thing, what I said, even I am practicing yoga today, for what I am doing. So accordingly, we have to choose the path. There are several paths. I'm touching the Aurobindo philosophy and practice at the end. But I found many people don't know their goal. Goal is a bigger one, but even they don't identify their objective of practicing yoga. So nowadays, I'm very particular. Just fix your objective of practicing yoga. Fitness, yes. Now the teacher will design the protocols to get him fitness or wellness or any overcoming the disorders or reducing the weight or a belly or something, a small aspects. So once you deliver, yoga works. But how it works, that is the technology. So this technology, once we develop, then we can attract more people to the practice of yoga. So this is the first important thing many of our yoga professionals should understand. You may be a therapist, you may be a fitness master, or you may be anything, and you are running a studio and you are integrating yoga in your studio of wellness or a fitness studio. So why I'm telling this, and yoga goes with many systems. It goes with a medical system, it goes with a fitness system, it goes to the wellness system. So that's why billion-dollar industries in various countries are working on because of this wonderful dimension of yoga. I hope I made my point. The first one is, so we identify ourselves, our objective of practicing yoga. Then the second aspect, important aspect. So how we are not stopped to that objective. Once you achieve that goal, I have stepped one point, I will not remain in that state. Yoga is that I am jumping to the another level of higher aspect, higher dimensions. So don't leave the students or the sadhaks coming to you, the practitioner coming to you, only to that objective. Motivate them to go to the higher level of existence. So that's the way how we have to promote yoga. So they come for only fitness and I just slowly give them fitness, living well. Then I'm giving the concept of wellness, eat well, sleep well, and have a wonderful sexual activity, which is also the one of the instinct, and I'm living without fear. Simple concept of why wellness. So I am eating well. So once I eat, it's inception. I am digesting well. I am absorbing well, circulating well. My excretion and elimination processes are fantastic. There's a problem. So food is the essence. I'm enjoying and food and its metabolism. How things is work. Second instinct is the sleep. You don't get good sleep. Lot of tension, stress during the pandemic. The whole world experienced huge stress. So then through yoga practice, I'm making them a good sleep. Oh, I can sleep with these small technology techniques for 5 to 6 hours of good sleep. There is no need of pill. I'm feeling okay. Then I have a wonderful relationship with my partners, sexual relationship. Many people don't talk. That is also essential once you become adolescent. But here is the one thing. It is an energy. Yoga teaches us to transform that energy from the sex or something like that physical instinct level and to transform into the spiritual energy. Here yoga comes to. We are just not like live like an animal. Animals also having these instincts of maithuna. Human beings are also animals, but we are not remain to be animals. So that's why we are transforming, converting that the animal energy or instinct to the human or excellence, where yoga comes to. So every animal has the instinct of fear of death, abhinivesha, what is called in yoga. So yoga helps us to self-confidence, overcome. Therefore, these are the 4 important instincts: the food, the sleep, the sexual activity, and the fear of death or fear of losing something, fear of losing money, fear of losing the position, fear of losing the friends. Can you see the realistic way? All animals have, including the human beings, but human being has one specialty, that is the discrimination. He can go to the higher levels of existence. That's a beauty. I have first managed these 4, but don't remain. That's wellness. Eating well, sleeping well, everything, it's world. But if you do that, if you are stagnant, again you are going to lose it. So that's why step up. So that's why the second dimension is, so converting them to the living well and giving them every time, stepping up our level of consciousness, the psychological, the intellectual level, the spiritual dimensions of life. So when you go to the higher plane, if you are going to the upper sky, so now I'm moving in a road, I have a lot of traffic, signals, a lot of these things, I need more attention. So I'm going in a railway, it's a particular track. So I'm going in the aeroplane. There is no need. Aeroplane is in a higher dimension and less traffic, but you are very, very alert, accuracy, perfectness. Otherwise, we fall. So as you are going up and up, so your level of consciousness and it needs more perfection in the life. That is yoga, my friends. This is yoga. But if you don't manage the human instincts well, you will not go to the higher level of consciousness. People may come for some overcoming the backache, diabetes, some disorders, some fitness, or some overcoming the sleep, this, etc., sleep disorders, anxiety, stress, anything. Just as I said, they come, but you give them, but if you leave them, again, they will go to the pills. Now, convert them, take them to the world of wellness or well-being. Make them aware how to eat well, how to sleep well, how you can have a wonderful association with our partners, convert that into the pleasurable thing and convert into the happy meetings. Convert slowly that into the sexual energy, into the spiritual energy. What Kundalini Yoga explains. Higher dimension. Once you go, that helps us to overcome the fear of everything. How we can? It is self-confidence. I am start living in the higher dimension of life, quality of life. This is the second most important dimension. And third most important dimension I found. Yoga is education, my friend. What Swami Aurobindo, now onwards I will touch Swami Aurobindo's philosophy. Yoga is education. Education is simple term. It is understanding myself, understanding my potential, and upgrade it to the extreme higher dimensions. To expand the inner potential, inner dimension, orienting them, and going to the higher level of existence. Yoga is education. What is that education? It is teaching us through asanas how to align, how to integrate the physiological systems, how to make the perfect anatomical balance, anatomical growth from the cellular level to the cellular, to the tissue to the organ to the systems, the human body. How well we have to organize. So therefore, this is the way how we understand the physiology, anatomy of our human body. The same thing, the psychology, the mind and its management. So that's a wonderful thing. Then how intelligence, how it comes. So how you can develop my discrimination power. What is that discrimination? Nitya, anitya, which is true, which is not true. Immediate decision. So the good yoga teacher or a yoga practitioner, educationist, he always take the right decision at the right time. That's the way how it is called Viveka, the Shankaracharya in Jnana Yoga mentioned about. Viveka, Nitya, Anitya, Vastu Viveka is one of the fundamental tenets of Jnana Yoga. Without that, we cannot proceed to teachings of Jnana Yoga. So what I would like to say, so that is the education to understand myself. So when I'm teaching, I have to understand the student and his various dimensions, his physical strength and limitations, all these things. And This will understanding will unite the teacher and the student having integration. What is that integration? I'm working. Yoga is basically it's a mind management. Yogic practices are mind centric. So if you don't manage the mind through yoga, some asanas, how it connects to your psyche. Psyche is a subtle. Psyche is not in my brain. It is in the, so it's the physical body, then it is the pranic body, and it is the higher level. That's why I'm telling you the road, train, and the air traveling, like given the examples. So when you go to the higher level of consciousness, the mind comes there. How to integrate that? So that's the wonderful way I given the formula for that. So that formula is the education, how you train it, detoxification. What yoga says, saucha, cleanliness. So unless we have these two niyamas, the saucha and santosha, contemplation, the happiness. So these are the two basic fundamental prerequisites to practice yoga. So that's why saucha, it comes to the internal and external, the ghata, the body. So we go to the hatha yoga practices, do shat karma as you need that, not regularly, as per the requirement. Practice shat karma, cleans it, cleans the system. Then cleansing the environment, cleansing our psychological aspects, doing meditation, doing prana, prarthana, what we did today, breathing, many techniques are there. First is detoxification. The second important aspect is the diet modification. Diet plays an important role in our personality development, in the management of human resource. So diet is very, very important. What I don't argue here, the non-vegetarian, vegetarian, as per the regional food, seasonal food, sattvic food, very good food, nutritious food. But how you earn that food, how you eat, prepare the food, how you eat that food. So what are your companions or the fellow beings you are eating with? What environment you create? Snigdha, madhura, chaturtansha vivarjita. Bhujyate siva sampritai mitahara savujjata. So wonderful. It's come to the first Ayurveda teaches us the yukta, but yoga teaches us the mitahara. So it needs a lot of time to explain that. But a best model you want to educate is to diet modification. Then our postural modification. I sit, I sleep, I walk, I stand, and many times our body postures are not correct. Therefore, go for the postural modifications. Asanas will give you the alignment. Then the breath modification, the breathing practices, not pranayama, breathing practices, anulom vilom or something, abdominal breathing, thoracic breathing. All these things will take you to the opening of the through nadis, ida and pingala. And if you frequently do this frictional, you are creating energy. Suppose if you rub, so the eye generates the heat. Same thing you are massaging. You are creating the energy there. Prana is an energy. And you are start opening up the central nadis, sushumna. So then ayama comes. Swasa, prashwasa, gati vicheda. I'm going with the philosophy of Patanjali, psychology of Patanjali, science of Patanjali. So that's a way how you create that. So that breath modification convert into the pranic management. The prana should flow freely in all nadis, 36,000 nadis left side, 36,000 nadis in the right side. So all should be balanced. What that brings to, that balance brings in the sympathetic and parasympathetic balance. That leads to withdrawal of senses, my friends. This is the technology. So once we draw that, so then it leads to concentration. Sorry. It leads to the concentration. So prolonged concentration leads to the modification. This modification, meditation, prolonged concentration leads to the meditation. Meditation, once it happens, neither me nor Vidyanandji can teach you meditation, but I can show you the path because meditation happens. A teacher can teach you the methods. I cannot take you to the state of meditation. It happens for you, but I can show you the path. I can teach the path. The prerequisites of meditation. Meditation is a bliss. Meditation is yoga. Yoga begins with meditation or dhyana. What Aurobindo has also mentioned that. So once it starts with behavioral modification, my friends. That's why this is an education, systematic organizations of the self. The detoxification, diet modification, postural modification, breathe modification, withdrawal of these senses, orienting them so that I can get the concentration, the sattva mana, ekagra mana, ekagra chitta, what you are talking about. So Patanjali gives the 5 states of chitta: Muda, Fikta, Vikshipta, Ekagra, Niruddha. So once you have that state of Ekagra Chitta, then I can take up to the Samapatti, Vitarka, Vichara, Ananda, Smitadi. And the science of yoga, where I reach to the state of dhyana. Dhyana brings the modification in our life, my friends. So that brings the behavioral modification. That changes my mindset, that changes my lifestyle, that changes about approach toward the individual, about the universe. This is education. This is the technology. So I had mentioned yoga is a technology. So the technology is based on the science. Every science has a philosophy. So many people will agree, oh, yoga is a science or philosophy. Yes, it's a philosophy. Every science has a philosophical foundations. But the philosophy is the foundation, but we want to have the building. The science gives that. The technology has given the roof and the inner things what you develop in our house. They are the appliances. The practices you selected, practices giving you to you, that is helping. That is appliance. Therefore, the philosophy, the science to the technology, the appliances, that bring the change within. That is education of yoga. That is yoga. So that for that, so I am giving you the path, what Aurobindo's, what I understood that. My friends, once we have this dhyana, mind management, orientation of our thoughts, and always I'm having the discrimination. So once I come to the life, I have to work. There is no escape for me or you or anybody, even the Prime Minister of India or any country. I have to work. But yoga dimension teach you how to work. So one is for work, I had a love for work. I had to work with a lot of love for my work. Then kaushalya. I have to use all my skills to do it perfectly. Then the third one is I have to completion. So I should have the hope. I will get something, but don't cling to the fruits of the karma. Karmanne vadikarase mahaphaleshu. Karma yoga teaches us to how to do the work diligently, perfectly, and reaching the goal. But once you reach the goal, and I leave the results to the God, but have a faith in that God. That faith in God comes from bhakti. Unconditional love towards the God is bhakti, as per Narada Sutra. So the bhakti yoga, the various forms of bhakti, dasya bhakti, kanta bhakti, sakya bhakti, 6 forms of bhakti, and navada bhakti, at how to take to the various levels. So it's a vast science of bhakti yoga. Aurobindo talk about it. Karma, dhyana to the karma, and karma to the bhakti. So with devotion, I'm doing my karma better, improving the quality of my work. But at the same time, many of us are target oriented, profit oriented. What I get after completion of this? So my efforts based upon the profit I get. Now, so my job is to how best I can do this work diligently with perfection. I don't expect anything. This type of combination of your oriented mind and combination of bhakti and karma leads to the jnana. Jnana of the universe, jnana of these things. So that jnana, nitya, anitya, viveka jnana. So I'm always going in the right path, right direction, taking the right, these things. So this is the dhyana, then the karma, bhakti leads to jnana. It is integration. So in between, whenever we need the physical aspect, the energy dimension, somebody goes to the karma yoga, kriya yoga, somebody goes to the hatha yoga, some kundalini yoga, various dimensions, fifth dimension, depends upon. But these four, dhyana yoga, great Mahatma Buddha, Mahatma Rishi Maharshi Patanjali has given the right paths for meditation, dhyana yoga. And bhakti, Narada Bhakti Sutras, various Upanishads. Then the karma, Bhagavad Gita, that's the karma yoga grantha. It's yoga shastra, it's not a religious book. It's a yoga shastra. You can read every aspect, ends with a atha yoga shastra. So then it leads to jnana, what Shankaracharya profound in his Viveka Chudamani and various other granthas, jnana. So Aurobindo knows the various dimensions, the mind management, the karma, the action, and the devotion, and the wisdom. This integration at the ground level, there's a kriya yoga or hatha yoga or any yoga, to put that energy to orient my mind, my friends. This is the integration of yoga of Aurobindo, the fourth dimension point I would like to mention. So the last one today, what we need, we have many yoga masters, many schools, many dimensions. So I started with my personal problems, but now I want to have professionals. I'm coming to the promotion and dimension of yoga. So various in America yoga alliances there, many yoga alliances, the profit-making bodies are certifying these things, but Government of India. So though yoga is originated in India, the ancient wisdom, it's our culture, it's our spiritual heritage, cultural heritage. Every individual born in India, in the mitti ke janm liya, and yoga is there in their blood, in their genes, because yoga is the culture of India. But kindly see that we are not owning it. We want to save that wisdom to the entire humanity. That is yoga for us. We don't want to keep that wisdom with us. We want to transform that. We want to give it for what? Not for money making, for the universal well-being, universal peace. So that's why we have started Yoga Certification Board, certifying the individuals and upgrading that knowledge, giving them the platform without any financial benefits. So that's the wonderful way, simple cost, what we spend for certification. That's only $10, $20, $100, depends upon the certification, not more than $200 at all. So that is the way we are certifying. And once we certify, we start orientation program, continue yoga education programs to upgrade the knowledge free of cost. For what? For the universal brotherhood, universal peace. Because I myself cannot live happy unless my fellow being. So I'm living in a colony. My colony is, my house is good. wonderful, but others, what about others? When I step out from house, so there is a lot of dirty things. Roads are not good. Others, these things are not good. Smell is coming. Can I live well? No. The same way I can live well, but what about my fellow being? What about my society, my family, my workplace? Yoga person, wherever he lives, he creates an environment of universal brotherhood. So what the ancient yoga masters. So nowadays it's a commercial thing. I want to develop some technology, then I want to make a patent. I want to earn money. So where you keep at the end of the day, I leave it everything here. After 3 years or 4 years, your own children don't remember us. Everything we are living here. This is the life. This is the reality. Yoga teaches us the reality. That's why whatever we learned, we earned. This is the God gift. I'm only the instrument to transfer that. This is the Indian yoga. We don't want to own it. It's mine. Yes, it is originated in India. Yoga masters do tapasya for decades, not 1 or 2 years, many decades, in sometime in more than 100 years, to identify one technology. But have they patented it, keep themselves to their family? No. They put it in record and transport to the wisdom to the entire world, humanity. So I just, last important aspect is, yes, certify, transfer it with minimum these things. You take the money for the comfort, but not for the luxury. This is the motto of Indian yoga, Indian certification. We have yoga certification bodies. Swami Vidyanand is also joining hands with us. So I am not blaming any other certification, but everybody have that. But here we want to transfer the true wisdom, knowledge with all the great masters, Ravi Shankarji, Sadhguruji, Ramdeji, all Indian yoga masters are on board in this certification. And this is the way how you take from the physical level to the spiritual level, where we can live in the higher plane of reference. That is yoga family. That makes bring the difference in the society, in the family, in the workplace, ultimately to some solace to the disturbed world at present. Yes, the stress continues, the climatic change and its various impact on the human life continues. They may not, but within that, how I can manage my mind to live well, how I can make my family live well, my society well, my country, my entire world, humanity. That's why this time I do Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi ji, I choose a yoga for humanity. The human values are intact in the yoga practitioner. That's the way how these conferences, whether it may be small or regional and it's international, these conferences have a platform, provide a platform to discuss such type of wonderful thoughts from various living yoga masters who are living yoga. They are not only just teaching yoga. So all these things I not even mention. I remember one thing, whatever thought comes, I just oriented them and transport. So if you love it, yes, this is the way how Basavaraddi think and live. If you feel it, then adopt it, take it. Thank you for a wonderful time and space to express my views. So, and within a day or two after, on 15th, India is celebrating 75th year of its independence. Its independence. Yoga is freedom, basically. Freedom from all sufferings. What Sankhya says, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika. So that independence, India got. So from small, but we need the independence, the freedom from all kinds of suffering. That we should be the objective of this. That should be the integral yoga of Aurobindo. That is our tribute to the great masters. The Aurobindo 150th birth anniversary is also going to be after tomorrow. So that is the way how I can pay tribute to my nation. How the way how I can tribute the great yoga masters of this modern times. Swami Aurobindo, Maharishi Aurobindo. With these few words, once again, I thank Swami Vidyanand ji and all my friends here. I I don't name each and every one. They're all my family members. For the love and affection too. Thank you one and all. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, Dr. Ishwar Basavaraddi ji, for gracing us with your presence and for your beautiful words of wisdom and inspiration. I'm sure we all taken them to heart, and what a beautiful perspective to provide to the opening of this conference. I would now like to invite Swami Vasudeva from World Yoga Federation Latin America and Hari Om International Argentina.
Namaste.
Namaste, namaste, welcome.
Namaste.
Welcome, Swamiji. Ji.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Hello.
Namaste. Welcome.
Namaste.
Welcome.
Namaste.
Thank you very much. Namaste.
Namaste. Welcome.
Namaste. Ok. No aparezco en la imagen, no sé por qué. Me parece, pero.
I cannot see myself in the image. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you, sir.
Sí, te podemos ver, Swami.
Ok.
Welcome.
Oh. Namaste Naradevaya Namo Narayanaya Cha Vadarivananataya Shoginam Pataye Namaha. Namaste Mitra Devaya Gurave Brahmavarchase Namo Madhavyaha Sidevyo Guruvyascha Namo Namaha. Namaste. Quiero agradecer la invitación a este tan importante evento organizado por World Yoga Federation, por todo su equipo, y decir que es un honor para mí representar como director regional para Latinoamérica a tan importante organización del yoga a nivel mundial.
Namaste. I want to thank the invitation to participate in such a great event organized by the World Yoga Federation, and tell you that it is an honor for me to be the representative as regional director for Latin America of such an important worldwide organization.
Voy a iniciar mi ponencia que se refiere al yoga y a la ayurveda en el sentido de la salud y la autorrealización, diciendo que el yoga es una ciencia experimental con profundos preceptos filosóficos y adquirimos conocimientos como un indicador del camino y de la meta, realizando el sadhana o la disciplina de las prácticas espirituales y el estilo de vida para acercarnos a la verdad y en consecuencia realizar la meta del yoga.
I will start my speech that refers to yoga and Ayurveda as health and self-realization by saying that yoga is an experimental science with deep philosophical precepts. We acquire knowledge as a path, guidance, and life goals, and by practicing sadhana or having discipline in the practices and in our lifestyle, we move towards truth. And as a consequence, we accomplish the ultimate aim of yoga.
La Ayurveda como ciencia de vida, ciencia de la salud integral, nos guía y nos prepara para estar en condiciones física, mental y espiritual para alcanzar esa meta del yoga, la autorrealización del ser. El yoga y la Ayurveda son de hecho no solo ciencias hermanas, sino una sola ciencia, la síntesis suprema o Sanatam Dharma, la sabiduría perenne enseñada por los grandes rishis.
Ayurveda as a science of life and integral health that guides us and prepares us to be good in good physical, mental, and spiritual conditions to reach the ultimate aim of yoga, that is self-realization. In fact, yoga and Ayurveda not only are sister sciences, but also a unique science, the supreme synthesis of Sanatana Dharma, the perennial wisdom taught by the great rishis.
Enfocada en la búsqueda de la salud, un bien precioso para buscar y lograr nuestros propósitos más elevados y justos, toda la ciencia de la vida o Ayurveda se basa en los principios cósmicos del funcionamiento del universo. Conocer las leyes del universo y vivir en armonía con ella es salud. La falta de armonía es, en relación a estas leyes, es la enfermedad.
Focused on the search of good health, a precious asset to seek and reach our ultimate and fair purposes in life, the science of life, or Ayurveda, is based on the cosmic principles that rule the way the universe works. Knowing the universal laws and living in harmony with them is synonym of health, whereas the lack of harmony in relation to these universal laws is synonym of disease.
A través de la Ayurveda llegamos al mismo postulado del yoga para resolver el problema existencial fundamental del ser humano, el sufrimiento del sentimiento de finitud, de incompletitud e impermanencia y cómo liberarnos de él.
Through Ayurveda, we arrive to the same principle of yoga to solve the main existential problem the human being has. That is the suffering of the finitude, incompleteness, and impermanence, and how to get rid of it.
El Ayurveda traduce este problema por el binomio salud-enfermedad y el yoga por armonía-desarmonía. Sattvas por un lado, rayas y tamas por el otro. El yoga va más allá y enseña cómo trascender incluso este estado de armonía y alcanzar Ananda, el estado de felicidad indivisible. Por lo tanto, salud es igual a armonía, igual a felicidad, y enfermedad, desarmonía, sufrimiento.
Ayurveda introduces this problem into the binomial of health versus disease, and yoga into harmony versus discordance. Sattva on the one hand, and rajas and tamas on the other hand. Yoga goes beyond that limit and teaches how to transcend even that state of harmony and reach Ananda, the indivisible state of happiness. Therefore, we can consider that health is equal to harmony, equivalent to happiness, whereas disease is equal to discordance, equivalent to suffering.
Muchos de nosotros que hemos dedicado nuestras vidas a investigar y buscar, experimentar esta ciencia sagrada, buscamos regresar al origen védico, donde el yoga y el ayurveda son la misma y única cultura o campo de conocimiento, el mismo origen filosófico y espiritual, los mismos sabios autores de los textos clásicos de una y de otra ciencia. Como ejemplo, algunos estudiosos tratan de identificar a Patanjali con Charaka, el gran maestro clínico de la Ayurveda, cuyas enseñanzas fueron descritas en el Charak Samhita. El texto clásico fundamental de la Ayurveda, con Sella, un importante autor de textos de gramática sánscrita.
A bunch of us who have dedicated our lives to research and experience this sacred science aim at coming back to the Vedic origin, where yoga and Ayurveda are the same and unique culture or field of knowledge. The same philosophical and spiritual origin, the same wise authors of the classical texts of both sciences. As an example, some researchers try to identify Patanjali with Charak, the great master of clinical medicine of Ayurveda, whose teachings had been described in Charak Samhita, the main classic text of Ayurveda, with Sesha, an important classical author of Sanskrit grammar.
El potencial de los efectos terapéuticos de las asanas, los pranayamas y otras técnicas se entiende claramente solo cuando los vemos desde un punto de vista energético y no solo estructural, biomecánico o fisiológico. Y si percibimos al ser humano desde este punto de vista bioespiritual y bioenergético, nuestro diagnóstico debe incluir estos aspectos como los doshas, los trigunas, los nadis, los chakras, el agni, el prana, el tejas, el ojas, y solo la Ayurveda nos entrena para hacer sistemáticamente este diagnóstico a través de sus métodos muy bien diseñados y objetivos, y de ninguna manera acercándonos a la adivinación.
The potential of the therapeutic effects of the asanas, pranayamas, and other techniques is only clearly understood when we look at it from an energetic point of view, and not only from a structural, biomechanical, or physiological point of view. If we perceive the human being from a biospiritual and bioenergetical point of view, our diagnosis must include these aspects, such as doshas, trigunas, nadis, chakras, Agni, Prana, Tejas, Ojas, and Ayurveda is the only science that trains us to systematically provide these diagnoses through their very well-designed methods and objectives, which is far away from divination.
El yoga proporciona una amplia gama de métodos que la Ayurveda incluye en sus programas de tratamiento, junto con una guía alimentaria, hierbas medicinales, métodos de desintoxicación. Utilizamos la meditación, la concentración, los mantras, los pranayamas, y sin olvidar las bases éticas de yama y niyama, que la Ayurveda llama vihara rasayana, el rejuvenecimiento por conducta. Observemos qué concepto tan espectacular para el tratar las enfermedades, restaurar el equilibrio y prevenirlo.
Yoga provides a vast umbrella of methods that Ayurveda includes in its treatment programs. Together with the diet guidance, medicinal herbs, detox methods, we use meditation, concentration, mantras, pranayamas, and not least the yamas and niyamas, known in Ayurveda as the Vihara Rasayanas, which is a method to rejuvenate by behavior or conduct. Please consider that it is a magnificent concept to treat disease, restore balance, and prevent disease.
Así como sabemos que en yoga, que en Ayurveda no hay una alimentación igual para todos, también debemos conocer que las asanas o las técnicas del yoga no deben ser aplicadas para todos por igual. Cada uno de nosotros tiene un biotipo ayurvédico diferente y debemos considerar esto.
As well as in yoga, we have to consider our food, diet, and balance in our body. We have to consider that in Ayurveda, it is important to consider the different bodies or doshas of each person, as each person is different from one another.
En Occidente hay algunos pioneros comprometidos con esta restitución de la práctica conjunta del yoga y de la Ayurveda.
In the Occidental world, there are some pioneers which are engaged with this restoration of the joint practice of both sciences, yoga and Ayurveda.
Quiero agradecer una vez más esta invitación de World Yoga Federation a través de sus directivos, y un especial saludo a nuestro querido Swami Vidyanand, que tengo el placer y el honor de conocer desde hace casi ya más de 10 años. Bendiciones para todos. Namaste.
I want to thank once again for this invitation of the World Yoga Federation. through their directors, and a special greeting to our dear Swami Vidyanand, who I have the pleasure and honor of having met for almost more than 10 years now. Blessings to all of you. Namaste.
My best regard. Thank you.
Thank you.
Darsh.
Thank you, Swami Vasudeva ji, for streaming from Argentina. Now coming in from the United States, we have Steph Ball-Mitchelle. She is the international ambassador for World Yoga Federation, and also the pioneer for the online yoga school. She is in a time when when online yoga was still quite a new thing. I think Steph was one of the pioneers in this field in the world, and has, I believe, one of the largest, if not the largest online schools in the world today. So we welcome you, Steph, to this beautiful conference.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaste. Namaste. My heart is full. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you so much, Utkarsh, for organizing this and for inviting me to speak on the panel. I'm really honored to be here. So I'm a yoga teacher in the US, and this past year I also became certified as a Grandmaster of Meditation with Swami. It was an amazing experience, and we were able to do it all online. And today I'd like to speak about the benefits of taking yoga into online spaces. The way I see it, when we're able to take yoga into online spaces, we're offering our students accessibility, affordability, and authenticity. So we'll start with talking about accessibility. When we take yoga online, we're able to do one of two things, or sometimes both, a combination. We can offer live yoga sessions with Zoom or Google Meet, or we can have pre-recorded material. And I like to offer my students a combination of the two. So the benefit with the pre-recorded material is that it's self-paced. And so we're giving the students the flexibility in scheduling. They can do the training from the comfort of their own homes. And what we hear from a lot of our students is that that's priceless for them. A lot of our students say that they've wanted to become yoga teachers and deepen their practice for many years, and they weren't able to because they didn't have the flexibility. They had work and family responsibilities. And so when we give them this option that they can do it at their own pace and their own time, it's something that means a lot to them, and it changes the way that they're able to study. And they can do this in their own time with no rush, no deadlines. They have the lifelong access to the training, so that makes it nice for them. And I really like that the students can spend their time on the topics that they need the most. So a lot of times we might have like a massage therapist or a physical therapist that takes the training, and they have this really strong anatomy background. So when we're teaching anatomy, they're kind of zipping through it because it's like a review for them. But then they get to yoga philosophy and it's all brand new, and they really need to take their time and kind of savor every moment. And so at least here in the US, when we do the in-person trainings, they're very group-based, and the instructor has a set agenda and a set time for each topic. So when the instructor moves on, the group moves on. And when we put the material online, we offer a different type of access to the students because they're able to spend the time where they need it. So if they need more time on philosophy, they can take it, and there's nothing stopping them. There's no barriers there. I also think we're able to offer our students affordability when we take yoga online. As educators, we can give them these affordable options because we have lower overhead costs. So we're able to pass the savings on to our students. And when we're teaching online with the pre-recorded material or even live lessons, we're going to have different expenses than we do when we're teaching in person. For example, we're not going to have to pay for rent space on the physical space that we're in or for the electricity and utilities. We're not providing necessarily the mats and the props, but we may have advertising costs, software costs. And where we really save with the pre-recorded material is on our time. And it's important to bring yoga to communities that might not otherwise be able to afford it. Here in the US, yoga has really become a commodity. And so unfortunately, it's more like a luxury for a lot of people, and it's not affordable for everyone. And I like that the online yoga helps us to break down those barriers and offer yoga to everyone, not just people who have the wealth to be able to afford it. And then we're able to offer authenticity. And I think that that's one of the big concerns that comes up for most yoga teachers. We all share that concern, is that somehow we're going to lose the authenticity of our teachings when we shift to online spaces. It's almost like it's not traditional to do it online. It's traditional that we do it in person. And so there's this fear that if it's not traditional, can it still be authentic? Can it still be the same? And yoga is an ancient practice. It's, of course, been around thousands of years. And back in the Vedic times, dedicated yoga students would actually stay at the ashram with their gurus. And so the guru-teacher student relationship was very close. And a lot of times the students would actually serve the teacher so that they could be there and learn. They would take care of the land or the animals. They might even prepare the food. And as yoga started to make its way here to the Western Hemisphere, the dynamic changed. The nature of the student-teacher relationship really began to change. Here in the US, Krishnamacharya is considered the father of modern yoga. And he had 3 students that brought yoga here to the US, and his son. The 3 students were Indra Devi, K. Patabi Joy, and BKS Iyengar. And then, of course, his son, Desi Kachar, who brought Vinaya Yoga. So Indra Devi brought this classical form of Hatha Yoga. K. Patabi Joy, of course, brought Ashtanga, and BKS Iyengar brought us Iyengar Yoga, the use of props, the yoga wall, strong focus on alignment. And so once they came to the West, yoga practitioners here wanted to deepen their practice. They wanted to become yoga teachers. And Iyengar, Joyce, and Devi worked closely with their students. My teacher, Maddie Azradi, was one of them. And then they went on to host their own yoga teacher trainings here in the US. And the 200-hour teacher training model kind of came to be a thing. And it's interesting how that happened. There was a doctor, Dr. Ornish, who had published a medical article that found that yoga and meditation were helpful in reversing the damage to heart disease. So then a lot of doctors and their staff wanted to become certified as yoga teachers because they wanted to be able to offer this to their patients. And they determined at that time that the 200-hour program would be enough for the doctors and their staff to be certified to teach yoga. But of course, they already had this very in-depth understanding of anatomy and physiology. And so from that, the Western society decided that 200 hours was enough to become a yoga teacher. And I think that online yoga can actually support us moving back to a more traditional time in many ways. Because the 200-hour teacher training model really pulls us away from the spirit of this sacred and ancient practice. And teachers become forced to cram like what should be 1,000 hours worth of lessons into this 200-hour time frame. And I know because I'm guilty of doing the same thing, trying to stuff all of this information into 200 hours. And so in this way, the student suffers and they don't get what they need to be prepared to teach yoga to others. So I think that by taking our yoga teacher training into online spaces, we actually give the students more space to absorb, which keeps the practice and the teaching of yoga authentic. And I realize I have a lot of thoughts. So, when I think things like this, I turn to the sutras to kind of filter my thoughts. And this sutra that comes to mind for me when we're talking about online yoga and whether or not we could keep it authentic, I think of Yoga Sutra 1-2, Yoga's Chitta Vritti Naroda. And my understanding has always been that yoga means to yoke. It's about union, union of the mind and body, union of the movement and the breath, movement with others, union with the universe, union with the divine, all kinds of union. And Chitta is about the mind, the mental. Vritti, I understand to be modifications, fluctuations, movement. And Nirodha, I understand Ni means totally or completely, and Rodha means restraining. So when we put it together, we're saying that in order to have yoga, we have to cease the fluctuations of the mind. So if we know that our ultimate goal is to have union, to yoga, and we know that we attain that through cessation of fluctuations of the mind, then I think we can look at online spaces and we can decide that online spaces are helpful because they're uniting people globally. We're gaining more union through accessibility and affordability. I'd mentioned earlier that when I took the Grandmaster meditation training, we were online and I felt like I was in India. I felt like I was right there. And it was beautiful for us to all be globally united. And it quiets our surroundings online too, because we have less distractions. So when we provide online access to our students, we're giving them this opportunity to study from anywhere. And it really gives them the opportunity to turn into themselves and go into a quiet place. And so ultimately, I think we maintain authenticity with online yoga, and perhaps we even increase authenticity with online yoga. And in closing, I would just say that I recognize that there's always a special place for in-person yoga and face-to-face sharing of energy and space, and that can never, ever be replaced. But I do think that online yoga has a future with this practice, with this industry. And we've come a long way with bringing yoga into online spaces, although I realize we still have a long way to go. And the quote that I'll leave you with is from the great teacher, Richard Rohr: "The demand for perfect is the greatest enemy of good." And so we find santosha, that contentment and acceptance of where we are right now with online yoga, while we strive to do better. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak today. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Steph, for sharing that with us. I would now like to invite Norma Fol from Norma Fol Yoga, Argentina. So, requesting Norma Fol.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste. Bien. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Aprendí hace muchos años, voy a ser breve y voy a contar desde mi experiencia personal, desde aquí, desde Argentina, qué fue para mí el mundo del yoga y qué es en la actualidad. Patricia va a traducir un poquito lo que yo les estoy contando.
Namaste. Norma is going to start telling you her own experience as a teacher of yoga here in Argentina.
Bien, yo aprendí con los años que agradecer da tranquilidad, da paz, baja los niveles de inquietud y de ansiedad. Y en estos años, que hace muchos años que soy practicante y también muchos años de transmitir esta disciplina amorosa, quisiera agradecer a 3 personas en especial.
From my own experience, I understand that being thankful has been a very important experience in my life as a practitioner and as a teacher. And I would like to thank three specific persons very much.
Bien, en los años 80, 86, 87, 1986, 87, conocí a Mataji Indra Devi, que fue la persona que me habló de otra manera de vivir, que había otras formas de vivir, y con ella conocí al doctor Domar, que también me habló de otras maneras de alimentarme. Siempre estaré agradecida a ellos, porque mi búsqueda en ese momento, como muchos de nosotros en Argentina por lo menos, fue buscar un estado de calma, de bienestar, de cierta armonía, de alegría, porque en ese momento de mi vida necesitaba imperiosamente volver a ser feliz.
I want to thank specifically Indra Devi, who I met in 1986. And she was a key person in my life, and also Dr. Domar, who actually changed, both of them changed the way I looked at things, and they showed me a different way of life.
Bien, una vez leí que decían que India le había regalado a la Argentina el doctor Domar como un obsequio de gratitud, y es verdad. La Argentina recibió muchos obsequios de la India, maestros, enseñanzas, textos, frases, historia, sabiduría, conocimientos, de los cuales uno primero observa, sorprende, y con el tiempo hay alguna palabra que a mí me gusta, que es macerar, va macerando aquello que fue recibiendo y aprendiendo, primero para uno, y luego después es más fácil, es más posible transmitírselo a los otros.
India has given Argentina several presents, not only Indra Devi and Dr. Domar, but also many phrases, many stories, many teachings, many ideas. So I absorbed, first I heard them all, and then later on I like to say that what you do with all those gifts is to put them into infusion, so that then they get out the essence and you can really understand what there is behind.
Con el tiempo, cuando uno encuentra sus estados de calma, cuando escucha que hay otras maneras de vivir, de ver la vida, hace un tiempo, ya muchos años, y lo llevo a mis alumnos, leía a Krishnamurti, que él hablaba del problema. Y cuando hablaba del problema aquí en Occidente, nosotros tenemos la comprensión del problema como un obstáculo. Y cuando uno lo lee y cuando transita en este mundo yógico, entiende, comprende, puede ver a eso que llamamos problema como algo a resolver, no como un obstáculo. Esa es una de las consignas que yo adquirí en mi vida y que trato de transmitir todos los días a mis alumnos de hace más de 30 años, que la vida es un problema, no como obstáculo, sino como resolución, como el pasito que hay que dar para volver a dar otro, resolver, desde todas las herramientas que vamos adquiriendo.
One of the ideas I like to teach and hand on to my students is the idea that life is sometimes, in Western life, we say that life is a problem. Western culture speaks of problems all the time as obstacles, as barriers. But I like to teach or spread or first understand that a problem is just a process of decision that you have to take, right? And leave aside this idea of obstacle.
Mi pleno agradecimiento, siempre voy a estar agradecida haber adquirido todas estas herramientas que cambiaron plenamente mi vida, plenamente. Cuando empecé a escuchar este mundo del yoga, yo tenía 25, 26 años, ahora tengo 65, así que es mi vida transitada en el yoga siempre, y enseñándolo todos los días, todos mis días de mi vida, es lo que hago. Siempre estaré agradecida a todos los maestros, principalmente estas personas que nombré, que fueron los que me sorprendieron, y en esa sorpresa tuve la intención de aprender, de saber, de viajar a India y de transmitir a mis alumnos todo lo que yo puedo transmitir. En Occidente hay muchos maestros, muchos estilos, y lo importante para mí es saber decir cuando algo no lo sabemos, poder pedir ayuda a los que saben, transmitir entre todos lo que sabemos, porque la idea es ayudar al alumno. Yo escuchaba anteriormente que decían llevar al alumno a un estado espiritual, y que a veces uno empieza desde lo físico. Sí, quizás desde lo que más tenemos, lo que nos duele, y llevarlo de a poquito, dándole herramientas para que él en algún momento encuentre este camino espiritual.
From all the techniques and all the ideas I learned as from when I was 25 and now I'm 65, so it's a whole life devoted to teaching yoga. The most important idea I want to refer to is this idea of gratitude. Gratitude to my teachers, gratitude to India, gratitude to this whole tradition. And I also want to say that what we have to do is, as teachers, is make our students get into these ideas through gratitude too.
En este momento estamos haciendo un instructorado de meditación online, como también escuchaba hace un ratito, y la función no es solamente llenar a las personas de información, porque la información a veces se acumula y queda como obstáculo en lugar de ser una apertura. Y hablamos mucho de poder comprendernos, de ahí hay un método que fui fundadora y es mi método SER, que es muy simple, y en realidad lo que quiere decir es comprender la naturaleza de la mente, saber cómo somos, cómo actuamos, qué necesitamos, quiénes somos, más allá de cómo nos llamamos o de qué trabajamos o dónde o en qué país vivimos. Luego, dejar de discutir y de pelear con lo que somos y empezar a comprendernos empáticamente, con un poco de cariño hacia uno mismo. Ser simples, poder expresar simplicidad. Yo los mejores maestros que tuve en mi vida fueron simples, fueron personas a las que uno podía comprender con el corazón. Después los libros se podían estudiar. Y después de poder comprenderte, ser simple y empatizar un poquito, empezar con el trabajo de lo que yo llamo la reparación. Ser, comprender, empatizar y reparar. Lo que uno puede reparar de esta vida para lograr esto que todos sabemos que es estados de plenitud, de tranquilidad, de menos sufrimiento.
In our school, we also teach the course of yoga for yoga teachers. There's a lot of information that we can spread, but the most important thing is not to make the piles and heaps of information become an obstacle for the future teacher, but just make them go through a process of understanding. My yoga institute has got some principles, the 3 principles. One is understanding, right? That people through their development can understand themselves, not only understand the concepts, but then also that they should learn how to empathize with themselves and others, and then learn gradually how to repair everything they've discovered from themselves and help others repair themselves.
Bueno, y quería ser breve, así que voy a ir cerrando. Hay algo que escuchamos mucho los profesores, los maestros, que es los ataques de pánico, los colon irritables, la sensación de ansiedad constante, de impermanencia constante de un estado de salud en cierto equilibrio. Y ahí es donde me parece que los maestros tenemos que estar primero escuchando, acompañando sin crítica, con una mente un poco más abierta, y luego todas las enseñanzas se pueden ir transmitiendo. Pero si uno primero no se humaniza con el otro, las enseñanzas quedan solo en enseñanzas puestas en un papel o en una computadora. Por eso, y para cerrar, hay algo que lo trabajo mucho con mis alumnos, que es esto de poder comprendernos, poder empatizar, poder escucharnos, poder usar una mente un poco más abierta, menos crítica, menos... En realidad, si todos nos apoyáramos en los llamas y los niyamas, estaría todo dicho.
Just to round off, I think the most important issue is to be able, as a teacher of yoga, be able to understand, to listen, to open up your mind, to see what your yoga practitioner is bringing to the class. If we are able to understand that, then our teachings become like more down to earth. Because if we don't understand what the students are bringing into the class, then all the ideas that are on paper are useless.
Bueno, y amorosamente y agradeciendo a todos los que están aquí presentes, y a India en especial por todo lo que me dio, quiero repetir 3 veces Shanti. Shanti para vos, Shanti para mí, Shanti para el universo, y que ninguno sea destructor del otro. Namaste.
I just want to thank all the teachers here in the room and all that India has given me. And then I want to repeat Shanti 3 times. Shanti for me, Shanti for you, and Shanti for the world. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Norma, for sharing that and sharing your experiences with us. I would I would like to mention that, as Sri Aurobindo says and Swami Vidyanand ji also says, from time to timelessness. So we are not beings limited to time, but in our true nature, we are beyond time. So in that spirit, we have speakers who have spoken from their heart, and we really appreciate and acknowledge that. And so we might be going a little over time, and I'd request panelists and participants that if you are able to, please stay on, because we are in a real live discussion. We are not in a mechanical sort of engagement. So thank you for just a little heads up for the time, and that we'll be going a little over. And I'd now like to invite Marcelo de Aquino Vincente. I hope I said your name right, sir.
Yeah, it's quite right. Very, very good indeed.
Thank you. Welcome, sir.
Well, Pranam, Swami.
Ada Brahma, great master. Welcome.
Swamiji, long time I don't see you. It's really a great honor and a blessing. Well, what to say? Well, again, my name is Marcelo. I'm the director of Nada Brahman Integral School of Yoga. This is established in the city of La Plata in Argentina. Mainly established to be a yoga center to spread the teachings of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. So this is our main focus, and that's why we are very much always connected with Sri Swamiji Vidyanand, and always seeking his blessings and guidance and teachings and everything. So of course, taking a brief time, because we are running out of time, just share with everybody, with your blessings, a few words about our work here in the school. But not to say before that is also a great privilege to be here with all these great masters of the world of yoga. And so this conference has even a great significance for me, mainly because of the 150th birth anniversary of Sri Aurobindo that is happening this weekend, let's say. So it's a real, very significant, this activity. So we were requested to speak briefly on our work in yoga over the last few years, our school, our role in transforming the international yoga landscape, or any topic related we feel inspired. So in this special occasion, I want to share with you, with all of you, our work on Nada Yoga, which is called the Yoga of Sound. The title of this brief talk was The Yoga of Sound, an Integral Approach. We know that integral means total, and total in many ways, maybe in all ways possible, as Sri Aurobindo says in Purna Yoga. This word is very meaningful for us, the word Purana, Puranam, because it means complete, total, and also is a word used to call the divine, the absolute, Brahman. So very often we tend to relate Nada Yoga with the Yoga of Sound in terms of music, vocal music, instrumental music, chanting, etc. This means that we relate Nada Yoga with sounds we can perceive with our ears, the common sounds. But in reality, actually the word Nada goes far beyond this meaning. It goes to the subtle realm, Sukshma. And in that realm, we begin to speak more about vibrations than speak about sounds in the common terms. As far as the teachings, the ancient teachings reveal to us, everything manifested is essentially nothing but vibrations. It doesn't matter if they are subtle or material, they are vibrations. Therefore, everything is a form of vibration. Everything, every little thing, every single thing. Not only music, nature sounds, or machines, etc. are sounds. Everything which is manifested is essentially a vibration. Taking this point, Nada Yoga would not be just a yoga of music or external sounds, but a yoga of vibrations. Having said that, probably Nada Yoga could be the oldest form of yoga, and in a way, the yoga of yogas. Everything is a vibration. Then if there exists a yoga of vibration, it would be a yoga of everything. One common way of seeing yoga is being master of oneself, right? Becoming master of oneself is becoming master of vibrations. Body, energy, mind, emotions, etc. All of them are modifications of vibrations. Thus, he who becomes master of vibrations would be consequently master of himself, and would live in harmony with himself and with nature. This is one of the main goals of traditional yoga. Everybody knows this. Besides the yoga of Sri Aurobindo going beyond traditional yogas, it is a major achievement. Briefly speaking, this is the aim of Nada Yoga, becoming master of oneself through the integral approach of vibrations. Very often it is done through music or external sounds, but in reality, it could be done in any other form, even having nothing to do apparently with musical sounds, because as we already said, everything is vibration. Naturally, the question arises, from what source these vibrations came? The source is Brahman, the Absolute, expressed in the manifestation in multiple forms, which are called vibrations. Therefore, vibration is nothing but that Brahman in form of vibration, and everything which exists is nothing but Brahman. This is unity. This is yoga. For the past almost 20 years in our school, Nada Brahman, that's why our school has this name. It means the absolute Brahman in form of sound, in form of vibrations, which are everything. So for the past 20 years, we have been doing research on Nada Yoga under this approach, and with the teachings of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother as the fundamentals. We have been more than 15 times in India studying and meeting great masters like Sri Swamiji Vidyanand and Mataji also, which gave us a thorough vision of the discipline and many things to reflect and experience upon, to continue developing this research and understanding and knowledge. So, well, as I said, very, very brief, just to share with you some of the things we do in the school. Finally, I want to thank Shri Swamiji and all the respected teachers, Swamis, and participants of this conference. It has been a great pleasure and honor to be here, and I expect to continue being here with all of you. So, Om.
Thank you, Marcelo, for sharing your words of wisdom. That was very interesting. I would now like to invite Yamila Belsola from Argentina, from Ananda Yoga.
Thank you. Namaste. Hello. My name is Yamila Belsola from Centro Ananda Yoga from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Welcome.
Thank you. I want to thank you and thank all the organizers for the invitation to participate in this conference. It's my first time. And in this opportunity, I'd like to share a little bit of my work in Buenos Aires, in Ananda. Besides a yoga teacher, I'm also a physical therapist. So this is a little bit of my work integrating the functional anatomy and the biomechanics with the practice of asanas, with yoga. So yoga is a beautiful gift that we have from India, but I realized that Westerners are different from Easterners. Some habits like food, climate, our body structure, lifestyle, the use of a chair since we are kids, for example, led us to stiffness in our body and also in our mind. So many times we see the perfect asana from India or and we want to do the same way in Argentina, and our bodies are so stiff that it turns very difficult to practice. And many students get injured. So sometimes it's necessary to adapt the practice. So what we do in Ananda Yoga in our study in Argentina is to use the knowledge of the biomechanics in the practice of asanas. For example, if we know that every joint has a certain range of movement, this is according to the age, because it's not the same for a 10 years old kid than a 60 years old person. So some asanas could challenge these normal ranges. So knowing this, we can avoid going beyond the joint range and avoid injuries. So in this moment, I like to share screen to show you some images. Here. For example, this is Rowena, a teacher of Ananda. Well, for example, we introduce something that we call bird food. Here you can see it. In asanas that challenge their natural wrist range of movement, which is 85 degrees. So in certain asanas, like Bakasana, Bhujapidasana, it's safer to use this hand because the wrist is not prepared to support body weight like the hips, for example. And some asanas could cause pain. So in this bird food, what we do is open all the fingers, and what we do is to the thumb goes backwards, and all the weight is distributed in the first 3 fingers, okay? And the ring finger and the little finger does not receive body load, but this kind of practice requires to the muscle of the hand muscles to be strong. Is not for beginners, for example. Another adaptation that we do in forward bends, like Uttanasana or Paschimottanasana, we bend our knees here as much as we need until we feel the contact of the abdomen and the chest on the thighs. And while doing asana this way, we can decrease the pressure of the lumbar, here the lumbar intervertebral discs. So important in people who already have an hernia, or to prevent having an hernia, because over time the intervertebral disc dry out and lose water and decrease in height. Also knowing what muscle do we use and how that muscle work, in which direction, we can optimize the muscular effort and improve flexibility. Here is an example in Virabhadrasana 2. Sometimes we cannot keep the pelvis in a neutral position and facing forward. If we use the classical alignment, heel to foot. So in this example, I have, if you can see the midline of the mat, and I have my, this foot is farther forward and this is backwards. So it's a way to correct the pelvis, put the pelvis in a correct position. And if we ensure a correct alignment of the pelvis, we can also ensure a correct alignment of the spine. So to finish, here is Virabhadrasana 1. And for example, if we keep the heel up, we can release the strain on the knee ligaments and also align the pelvis and avoid stressing the lower back. So this is another adaptation that we can do in Western people. So well, that's it. This is a little of, stop share, of my work at Argentina, at Ananda Yoga. And well, I want to thank you for your attention. And again, thank all the organizations for the invitation. Namaste.
Welcome. Thank you. Utkarsh, give your comments.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I would now like to invite Kushal Roy Joy from Bangladesh, from Joyson Yoga, to please share with us. Thank you, Kushal ji. Welcome, Joyda.
Thank you, Kurvaya. Thank you so much. Namaste, Swamiji.
Welcome, welcome. Great master, grandmaster in Bangladesh. He's a great work, a very special work. World Yoga Federation giving a lot of proud. Welcome, please.
Thank you so much. And all the teachers, take pranam to all. Before my topic, myself, Kushal Roy, as a musician, my graduation was Rabindra Sangeet and MSc in Yoga Science from Bangalore as Desai Yoga University. Especially, I'm a yoga therapist, certified yoga therapist, International Association of Yoga Therapists, America, and Asian Yoga Therapy Association. And my organization name is Joy Sun. My nickname is Joy, and my wife's name is Sanchita Sarkar. So her 3-letter and my 3-letter, Joy Sun. She is a graphic designer and she works in art therapy. So we create some new thing and for well-being everyone. And my topic is yoga, what happened itself, and especially Bangladesh. Within 15 years, when I was went to 15 years back, there are only one yoga center in Bangladesh. This is called Indira Gandhi Cultural Center, High Commission of India. I was a student for IGCC High Commission of India. And maximum, hardly 10 people, 10 yoga center was there that time in total Dhaka, Bangladesh. But after this course, Swamiji and World Yoga Federation and Yoga Lands International arrange a yoga 200 hours yoga teachers course in Bangladesh. And these years we are enrolled 74 people enrolled, and now in Joyson there are more than 10 people are working and different kinds of school and college. Today I visited one heart center, and tomorrow we'll go another big hospital. There are 16 floor, all the floor, and they are wanted to they're going to start a yoga therapy center for the doctor. So actually I'm talking about the certification of yoga teachers training course, because when I went the heart center and they say what is your academic qualification about the yoga. So our yoga teacher said, yes, we have 2 international yoga certificate, one World Yoga Federation and Yoga Alliance International. So they are very trust with our organization, and they know our 2 international organizations. So after this course, we are much better, and we are working too many works, too many peoples, and Joyson Yoga and Wellness Center working at this moment 3 hospitals, 2 Banglalink means telecompanies, 2 telecompanies, and more than 5 corporates. And in the Dhaka we have 4 yoga center, and maximum yoga teacher is our recently yoga teachers, those who has completed this 200 hours yoga teacher training course. So before 15 years back, there are only 1 yoga center in Dhaka that had, and maximum 10 certified yoga teacher at that time. But now we are more than 150 plus certified yoga teacher, and 104 minus plus 4 yoga school or yoga school, studio or center is running their own yoga center. So this is the role model of yoga, where very energetic people are coming to this yoga field, and nothing else. So thank you to all. Take my program, and please visit our country to Bangladesh. Most welcome, most welcome. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you, Kirva. Thank you, Kamal. Thank you.
I'm very happy to, Kushal is very successful promoting to World Yoga Federation International Certification and Yoga Alliance International certification in the worldwide, and giving the true knowledge to on great dimensions. He have a lot of great skills. So promoting to truly independent, several new masters he's creating, and internationally have a strong platform. My work is providing the international platform for the world everywhere. The teacher is not only Bangladesh, everywhere in the world. So this is my organizations, two organizations, World Yoga Federation and Yoga Alliance International. I creating the two organizations especially for this work. And I'm happy to, Kushal is very successful model about this program in the present time. Thank you, Kushal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Swamiji, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you to all.
Thank you so much, Joyda. I would now like to invite for today Arjun Goswami from World Yoga Federation, and he's a director with World Yoga Federation, and also Shrima International School of Transformational Yoga, to give a vote of thanks to all our speakers and bring a close to today's proceedings before Swamiji gives his concluding address. Arjun, welcome.
Namaste, everyone. And thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, all of you, all the panelists who joined in, and our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Basavaraddi, who has enlightened us with the journey of yoga. I would also like to thank Mr. Nestor for all the glimpse that he has put on the topic of yoga and Ayurveda, all the relevance that he has showed us in the way. I would also like to thank Steph-Paul for doing a great work in terms of online yoga, and how she's being able to provide all the aspirants coming to join yoga in a good way, in a hybrid way, in fact, for the online and offline, and providing them with all the kind of affordable materials that she has mentioned. I would like to thank Norma Fol for her work in yoga in Argentina, the way she's doing it, and Marcelo for working in a very different format, which is the another yoga, the work of yoga, the work of sound. So sound brings a lot of peace in terms of yoga. And Yamila, of course, she has given us a very good insight about the physical therapies and physical aspects about yoga and yoga therapies for different individuals, and showed us the way of doing the right forms of things and tips and tricks. And of course, Kushal, for all the work that he has done in Bangladesh and continuing this work. I wish you all the best, and keep continuing this work, and bring all the harmony and this work in yoga for everyone. Thank you so much, and over to you, Swamiji.
Welcome. Utkarsh.
Thank you so much, Arjun, for that closing address. I'd also like to thank two other people who many people will not see on the screen, but they have been supporting us from the back all throughout, not only in this, but in all activities, is Camille Gicquel from France, the director for Yoga Alliance Europe, and Yogi Vigyan Prakash ji, also known as Umesh Lalit. I'd just like to thank you all for your constant support in the background.
I invite, I think it's 2 minutes for Camel also and 2 minutes for Umesh also. First is the Camel, the 2 minutes. Explain. She's in charge of the Yoga Alliance International Europe, and work is the Shrima International Yoga School and Meditation Alliance International Vice President. So please welcome. And I have a present from Dr. Rakesh Giri also, tomorrow also coming. He's also present. He's the great master in the India. So please, Camille can come 2 minutes.
Thank you, Swamiji. I don't know if you can hear me well. There's a lot of wind around me, but I hope it's clear enough. Okay. I was very happy to be invited to this conference, and I'm very happy that I could listen to you all. And everyone has a different view of yoga, but not really a view, a different way of practicing, a different way of teaching. But I feel what is beautiful is that we all are going in the same direction. Whatever the way we choose to spread the yoga, we're actually spreading it, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of what we're doing, all of us, every day in the world. We're just spreading what is yoga, and we're doing it with our heart, which is the most important. So yeah, I thank you all for being present, and I'm very thankful for organizing this. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you, Turkashi. Thank you all. It's been really a pleasure, and I definitely look forward to tomorrow's session. Thank you so much.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you, Camille. Great. And she's a very great grandmaster in the specialization in the all over Europe area. So thank you. And I inviting Vigyan Prakash 2 minutes also. You giving some word, and after I is giving to thanks. Yes.
Namaste to all, and very heartfelt thanks to Utkarsha, Swamiji, Arjunji, and Camille, the family of World Yoga Federation and Yoga Alliance International. Life with Transformational Integral Yoga, that is World Yoga Federation, with Swamiji, has been a very different. Coming from the traditional yoga for many years, the transcendental experience that I came across face to face in Transformational Integral Yoga is actually the what we can say the real filling up of gaps between the theory and practices. Lots and lots can be said about this experience of coming from traditional yoga and getting more deeper experiences of yoga through Transformational Integral Yoga with Swamiji. But I could really sum up in this one sentence that the theory and practices with Transformational Integral Yoga has been the real experience which catapulted and leapfrogged me to quite a deeper meaning of yoga and deeper experiences of yoga. And same I can say with interaction with Utkarshaji and with Camille, Parag and me, and many other practitioners of Transformational Integral Yoga. With Swamiji's blessings, I could work in the western part of India since last few years. And now the center is getting developed quite well, which we can discuss later on sometime. Dhanyavad Swamiji for this opportunity to be present in this forum.
Welcome, Umesh. I'm very happy. And next Tomorrow, Dr. Rakesh Giri also coming, and he's the in charge in the all over in Gujarat area, especially in India. It's very great India, and he's giving some speech about yoga, and this time is less time, but one and two bird. Please, Rakesh Giri, something you can tell. Tomorrow your lectures, yeah. Yes.
Yes, Swamiji, thank you very much. I enjoyed today. All the yoga expert has done that work very nicely. They promoted and they explained the way they work. And I wish all the experts will be present tomorrow also, and we'll have wonderful interactions. So thank you very much, Swamiji. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Rakesh Giri is the great yogi in India. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So I am giving to you all who is.
Swamiji, we also have today Master Dixon present, who is the chief guest also tomorrow.
Yes. Master Dixon also coming tomorrow, and today is I think not present or present.
It's present, Swamiji, but screen is off. So I'm not sure if we still have in Grandmaster Dixon. Are you with us?
Welcome. So I'm very happy. Tomorrow also I seen the Master Dixon also program, and I will very happy to today Dr. Ishwar. He's the director of the Ayush ministry, also present and giving the all blessings to everyone as a true India energy, inspiring to everyone, and all Argentina. Vasudeva Nanda is very great. I'm very happy, and all Ananda Yoga is very good work, and Nada Yoga is very great. So everyone have going to research. Yoga is the part of the research. You go deep, and new invention. You are a youth energy. You need to go. This thing is new things. I have a system creating something new. So I am very happy. World Yoga Federation is a platform for the promoting to you your knowledge, and my work is promoting to you everywhere and true certification also, and true knowledge also. So Grandmaster programs also started first time in the world, and giving some small courses also. And definitely everyone have a knowledge inside always, but how to can out? This is my main function, my main work, not only certification, knowledge also. My organization providing not only certification, international certification is the strong everywhere in the 5 continents, but important is the right knowledge also, true knowledge also, based with the Sri Aurobindo integral system of yoga. This is the base. Sri Aurobindo's yoga is the highest integral system of yoga. All dimensions, 5 dimensions inside included. So I am very happy to you are understand, and this is my first effort starting this platform as after the COVID, and this is just starting as a seed form, but slowly he's going to more big. So I am very happy to thanks if Dr. Ishwar is present. Utkarsh is presenting or
no, Swamiji, I think Dr. Ishwar Basavaraddi has left.
Okay, no problem. But I will very happy to Utkarsh and Disha, both your music and invocation of the mother is very nice. So today I have tomorrow also see you all together. I inviting who also present today. You also welcome. Okay. So namaste today. Namaste. Welcome. Namaste. Utkarsh, you
Okay.
can winding up today.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you everyone for joining us. We like Swamiji said, we invite all of you to come back tomorrow, and we have more speakers from all over the world joining us. And thank you so much for coming and sharing with your heart and making this event so successful. And thank you, Swamiji.
I am very happy to this America have a Yoga Alliance. This is international. What is her name? I forget. She is an online program provider. He's also very
Steph G.
Yeah, he left, but he's very good work, creative work. Online after the COVID, his online work is start. Before COVID, not people know. So some new things is coming. So new things is coming, and I am thanks to your Ananda Yoga. Very good work, great work, and very nice. I inviting India to all masters, every masters who is our Argentina. Master Vasudeva is a very great, and all masters have a great and work, a lot of work, and Nada Yoga, great master work, great work, and all who is I listen, very beautiful in Argentina have very great personalities. So tomorrow I will see you. Namaste. Thank you. Namaste. Namaste.